Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? It's been a while since I uploaded. I don't think I uploaded any games for IDM Season 4 and NPL Season 7, but we're back. I just didn't feel like uploading. Not because the leagues didn't go well or anything, but yeah, I just like didn't feel like uploading. I was pretty busy with life and shit, so didn't upload my games. But I'm back with my NPL playoff run for season 7. Like I didn't plan on uploading the entire season or anything. Like didn't feel like it, but at least the playoff run is something I should upload. I felt like because it had some pretty good games. So yeah, here we are. IDM is over. IDM season 4, in case you were interested in that. I lost in semis to a pretty good game. It came down to kind of 50-50. It was a good game though, and yeah, sadly we couldn't four-peat this league, but we're still like we're still in the NPL, and we gotta try and win that one. Regular season, I finished as the number one seed in my conference with a 9-3 record, I think. And yeah, we got some tough games in the playoffs. Round one, we are facing Professor Chipboard, who was in my division, so I played him 2 times in the season already. First game I won, but that was before I made transactions for Mega Alakazam, for example. And yeah, the second time, which was like I think with 2 weeks left in the regular season, so like 2 weeks before this battle here, he beat me. So this was like we're a lot of mind games in prep for this one. And yeah, I came up with a cool squad, I think. Something I like a squad that I'm really proud of that put in that should put in some nice work. We got a nice defensive Volcarona. Shout out to my boys Gypsy King and Maddie Brolick who helped me prep throughout the playoff run. And yeah, this Volcarona set was something Maddie came up with or told me to look at. It's max defensive Volcarona with modest nature though. Quiver Dance Roost, I think Flamethrower and Buckburst. Defensive Volcarona absolutely shits on all his physical attackers. Like plus one declaw from Hexorus does like 55 or so. It's like does some crazy low amount of damage. And with Misty Terrain, a hard wall Hexorus, I chew any non-rock hit from Durant, even if it's Hustle. I'm not 2 KO'd by anything Mimikyu wants to throw at me, not even 3 KO'd. Like +2 Adamant, Life of Shadow Claw. Um, yeah, it doesn't even bop me from full, so like not even after spike or anything. So Volcarona definitely can go crazy. We got a nice little defog landers. I think I'm pretty sure I'm defog. Might be rocks, but it's like ground Z. I'm pretty sure because my opponent had only has like 2 ground resist in Swell on Skarmory and he didn't bring the Scam. Um, we got a nice 3-attack Alakazam with Psychic, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, and Reflect in the last slot. Because I don't want to be overwhelmed by his physical attackers. And my boy Ship, he loves to bring setup. And like looking at Durant, Hexorus, and Mimikyu, and potentially physical Swallow, Reflect Alakazam could come in quite handy to ease switch-ins for Volcarona and Landorus. We got a Scarfini with Haze, Defog, Moonblast, and Surf, I think. It's like pretty much emergency Haze versus a Mimikyu that can get out of hand because I'm not OCOD by +6 Life Orb, Element, Shadow Sneak or anything, so I can just like go for the Scarf Haze. We got a nice Spikes, U-turn, Dual Step. I think Black Glasses, Greninja, which can do quite some damage to shit like Mew, Durant, Hexorus, and get up a Spike and shit like Mega Venusaur, which it didn't bring, so that's pretty clean. And I got another Scarfer here, Dual Scarf, on my squad, Ninjirachi, which is pretty much my soft check to Mimikyu and Swallow, because Jirachi can, for example, chew a +2 Shadow Sneak from Element Orb Mimikyu after 2 rock switch-ins, so I always got an outburst dead. I always got an outburst Swallow in case my Alakazam goes down, and so on. And I also got, I think, the Healing Wish on this thing, so that could come in handy. But yeah, let's all run into the game. I don't want this video to be too long, but we got a couple games going, so yeah, we'll see how long it will be. But let's go right into it. I decided to lead off with my Greninja, just in case he wanted to lead anything bar Cobalion. Like it matches up very well versus everything. With the U-turn, I can break Mimikyu's disguise. And yep, I pretty much get ship off and initiative versus everything by Cobalion. Versus Cobalion, I can like scout with the U-turn what kind of set he is. So I go for the U-turn here. I think I go out into my lander. I get a crit. It doesn't matter obviously. Now I go into my Zama obviously. Here I click Focus Blast. I don't see the Mimikyu switching in hard on Alakazam because Psychic is pretty free. Because Psychic into 2 Shadow Balls, 3 Chaos, like max HP Mew, so it's like not really a play for him to go hard into Mimikyu. So I go for the Focus Blast unless there's a Chople Berry, this O-Cost guaranteed, even if it's max HP and some Spadef. So I go for the Focus Blast and I miss as he reveals the Metal Burst on this turn, and yeah, this this is kind of annoying. He later revealed to be, or like after the game he told me he was Focus Sash, so guaranteed gets the rocks, which makes sense. But yeah, this would have been a dead Cobalion. This like kind of matters in the long run of the game because this thing like now it's at 97 still instead of being at what at like being gone. That's it. I go into my lander to cover Metal Burst and a switch into, for example, Mimikyu. But he goes into Mew. I switch out hard into my Gran. I don't want this thing to get out of hand. And it gets up a Reflect. I don't mind. I think I go for another U-turn as he goes into Cobalion, which gives me a free defog with Finny, which is clean. So I get Misty Search up, which helps versus status users as well as Haxorus. And I can get rid of the defog. I outspeed his Cobalion, but he didn't mention anything in the chat, so he could have thought that it just been a very fast Finny because he was a super slow Cobalion. I think he was Brave Nature too. So yeah, like he doesn't yet know that my Finny is Scarf, which can come in handy. But he does a nice chunk with Volt Switch, so he knows that I'm probably a little bit more offensive. But I'm still max HP, so despite being Scarf. But he goes into the Rant as he sets up the sub in my face. No worries, I can like just get him to -1. He goes for a Rock Tomb and does 10%, and I'm like, 10% is not hustle. I mean, after the game told me that he by accident clicked Swarm instead of hustle on the team builder, or forgot to make it hustle, but yeah, happens. Sub Swarm could have been a set with like X Scissor, but pretty unneeded because hustle is like usually the better option versus my team just because of the breaking power. Goes into Swallow on my U-turn, predicting me to go for another SD. I can get in my Alakazam. I just fire off a Psychic, I think. Yeah, like I don't care about Mew coming in. Go for the Shadow Ball. Get to 53 as he goes for a Light Screen. And now I go for a Reflect because I don't think he would sack his Mew here. It can still get up screens on potentially the Lando if it's faster than me, on potentially the Finny if he's max speed and I'm not Scarf. So and he like probably has to keep Sacks because Alakazam pretty much looking at his team wants to break Mimikyu's disguise. It always claims to kill with screens gone. So I got my Reflect in case he wants to go into Hexorus or goes into Durant. So yeah, I can go into my Volk now on the Cobalion. He gets up his rocks again. You see like a defog rocks away earlier. Now because this thing is chilling here at 96%. Yeah, it's kind of annoying for me. Here I go for the Quiver Dance because he revealed Stealth Rock, Metal Burst, and Volt Switch, and he has to have close combat, so he probably isn't Rockstar or anything. So I can just go for the QD and and yeah, I outspeed despite me being like no speed, and I'm like because I still want to bluff that I'm not Scarfini. I say in the chat like now that Volt Switch was Finny makes sense, like slow brave Volt Switch and shit. And he says yeah, so he still doesn't know that my Finny is Scarf, which is clean. So he goes into Hex. I go for Bug Buzz, do 50 with the screen up, and yeah, I actually get a Spadaf drop, which oh fuck, my bad. Which kind of matters, but like I still did 50, so I could have like probably was a chance for me to knock him out, and you will see now like yeah, get Spadaf drop, which guarantees me the kill on the next turn, but you'll see what Dragonclaw does through the screen here. There's 34 at +1, so I can just bop this shit and go from there. It goes for Mimikyu, and I'm like, what's that thing supposed to do? Because Mimikyu doesn't get rock coverage, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I didn't want to like break into disguise and have him set up in front of me with the light screen still up. So I switched out hard into my landers with rocks up. as I said, pretty annoying. He goes for Sword Sense on my switch out. Sword Sense is again as a U-turn, as I go for the slow U-turn to get rid of the disguise. And now I got the Scarf. Um, Nice and Scarf Haze as he goes for the player up. Think that he might outspeed. And now here on this turn I got a pretty free Rachi, because if he has these up, I live a +2 Shadow Sneak easily. Actually reveals to be Adamant Life Orb, which is in my opinion the best set he could bring. And yeah, if he just wants to set up again, thinking that I'm Scarf, no worries. If he wants to Shadow Sneak, no worries. If he wants to Shadow Claw, no worries, because I live a Shadow Claw, and as long as I don't allow it to set up, I'm fine. I can sack my Rachi if needed, so it's like really not a big deal. Goes for the Shadow Sneak as I send in my Jirachi. I go for the Iron Head, like I don't want to play around this thing. It's like too risky for me to like um, to allow it to give it to give it free setup, so I always have to Iron Head with it. Goes into Lando into Cobalion on my Rachi. Which I'm saying, goes for the slow bolt switch, which I block with Landorus, and he goes for the rocks as I defog. Yeah, I'm double defog, but I mean he makes a smart plan, just like kind of spams rocks, but I can go into my bulk again and Quiverland's up pretty much on this fucker again, and like this now it looks pretty brutal for him. I go for the Quiver Dance, and this is a roll to knock out Mimikyu depending on the spread, and he actually goes for the Shadow Sneak, which with the life damage puts him guaranteed rage of +1 flamethrower. And yeah, here depending on his swellest move, it's already GG. Hurricane can knock me out. It's a roll if it's like yeah, Hurricane is a roll to knock me out. I don't want to risk it. I think during this game I kind of forgot that I was oh no, no. The thing is, I didn't I did not know if this was maybe a Scarf Bravebird Swallow, and I didn't want to risk Volcarona because I had a free switch into Fini, and I could defog with Lando whenever I wanted to on the Cobalion. So yeah, I didn't want to risk like Scarf Bravebird, which actually makes sense with Volcarona. So I decided to switch out and get in my Zammer, which and he reveals the Boom Burst. So I actually could have swept with Volcarona on this exact turn, but yeah, I didn't want to risk it because Volcarona is still so good versus Mew and Cobalion. So I can always like I could always go like for the Quiver Dance sweep in front of Cobalion or Mew. So Zam comes in. I actually go for the Psychic here on the switch. I don't know why I didn't sack Mew. Probably was his best sack here, because Cobalion actually could have like shoot a hit and could have gambled on me missing Focus Blast, but I can just like sweep with my Zama here pretty much, which is pretty nice. I don't think it really made a difference if he sacked Mew first or not, because everything was in Zama range. Especially with him switching out into Cobalion, he didn't. I didn't have to risk Focus Blast versus it. I could have just bopped it with 2 Psychics, which is nice. So yeah, that's pretty clean. And yeah, we get a win with nice Zama. So we advance to the second round of playoffs, which pretty much is conference finals. So 2 more wins until the championship, and we are right right into the next one. So this one goes versus my Bonova. We played twice in the regular season as well, because he was also in my division. So a third matchup versus his team, just like in the first round, which was pretty much a pain to prep for as well, because his team has like a bunch of stupid threats and stupid bulk. Like he has Rotom Wash, which my team doesn't handle really well outside of Kyurem. He has Licky Licky, which I don't have a fighting type. Tough to break for me. He has Mux, so my Alakazam is shut down. He has Mega Diancie, which I don't really switch in well to. He has Dragonite and Heracross, which can fuck me up depending on their sets. And he also had a Magiana on the squad, so you know how centralizing that fucker is. But the team I built here was built around Scarf Kyurem with Earth Power, Ice Beam, Flash Cannon, Hidden Power, Fly. It gives me Revengers versus +1 Dragonite versus Diancie. Can't ship Muk and Magiana on the switch, and can 1v1 Rotom unless it's Toxic Pain Split or anything. Revengers Heracross after rocks with the HP Fly, which is like all of which is pretty nice. So this was like a no-brainer to have on the team. Volcarona's cool set here. It's Roost, Fiery Dance, Giga Drain, Will-O-Wisp. I outrun shit like Dragon Knight, Licky Licky, Heracross, so I could burn all of them, like unless Heracross I really don't want to burn because this shit could be guts. But I can burn Mach, so I even set up Fire Dances on Rock Slide Mach. I burn Dragon Knight so I can cripple it. I burn SD Licky Licky, which is a pretty decent set versus my team, like Wish, SD, Earthquake, or Knock, and Return or Body Slam. Can really put in quite some work versus my team, so having the Will-O-Wisp is pretty nice versus this fucker. Jirachi is a cool set that I came up with. It's Sub-Toxic, Wish, and Iron Head. Shit like Rotom, Licky Licky. They don't break my sub. Bandit E-Speed from Dragon Knight doesn't. So I can potentially set up subs in front of Rotom, Licky Licky, and spam Toxic versus whatever wants to come in, or just flinch shit down, like for example Licky Licky or Mud. And yeah, he really struggles like breaking this fucker, this Rashi set with his fat stuff. So looking at his team, like once I reveal my set, he always has to go hard into a Scarfer to break my sub and go from there. And then like I have pretty solid switches because Heracross has to break my sub with Earthquake, Mega Horn, or Close Combat, all of which I can switch into my Lando or Finny, which is pretty clean. The Lando set I got is Earthquake, Smackdown, Stealth Rock, and U-Turn with the Ground DMZ. Ground DMZ is a nice tech because it guaranteed bobs Max Max Magierna. We could like have the Ice Beam on deck to lure Lando because Earthquake from Lando doesn't always Oko Magierna if you invest both. So I felt like Ground DMZ could be a nice tech. It also helps versus Licky Licky because Earthquake into Z Ground bobs it. It's Earthquake into Z Ground after Rocks bobs Heracross. I'm pretty sure it bobs +1 or +2 Mach easily, so I have an outburst there. And after Smackdown, obviously I bob Rotom, which is pretty clean. So yeah, this is a nice tech here. I yeah like yeah, with Lando I pretty much intend to Smackdown or U-turn chip Rotom early to put it in round Z range and then get up Rock so it can't defog on me. But this game I'm pretty sure I like won't get up get up stealth rocks without like allowing them on my side, but that happens. No worries. I got Moonblast Finny here obviously with defog, reflect, and I think surf. No, I got knockoff over surf. Moonblast knockoff, reflect, and defog. Reflect is nice to always have a backup check to Dragon Knight because it chew an unboosted Z fly and get into my Aya Papa Berry range. So if I go like land on his on his Dragon Dance and get the slow U-turn out into Finny and CZ flies, which pretty much means he's unboosted but +1 speed, I can get up a reflect and prevent it from setting up all over the place. And the last one on my team is a standard Curse Legs with Rest Talk and Return. I should have probably made it Earthquake over Sleep Talk and Recycle over Rest, but like the risk of him knocking me off with Mach or Licky Licky or Heracross was too much, and like I just want to have a safe-ish check to Magierna, and not Magierna to Diancie, and yeah, Magierna to some extent as well, but mainly to Diancie. So going into the game, I'm pretty sure I lead off with Marachi, yeah, because if we lead with Rotom, I can just like sub up and see what he wants to do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I sub as he actually goes for the Hydro Pump turn 1, not going for the Volt Switch. Probably like covering a substitute play, but also covering my switch out into Lando on his potential Volt Switch. In our last game, in the regular season, I stunned all over him with like going into Lando on Volt Switches, going to Finny on Will-O-Wisps and shit like that. So he probably wants to make aggressive reads here in this game, which I'm fine with. I'm cool. He goes for the Hydro Pump, and in case this is a Scarf Rotom or anything, I want to throw out the Toxic, as I like kind of get weakened, but I'm still out of range of Earth Power from Diancie, so I'm not too worried. He goes into Mach, which always gives me a free Landorus because he really can't versus my team can't afford Ice Punch on his Mach unless it's AV, and I don't think AV is the set versus me because it like doesn't do much versus my squad. So I U-turn out as he goes into Rotom. I got his He's got a set, and this is like max HP Rotom, but it's not defensive, so it's probably like a especially defensive Rotom. I can go into my Rachi now, and just go for the Wish, I think. No, I go for a Substitute, predicting him to this time Volt Without, probably not knowing that it won't break my sub, and yeah, here I can just like go for the Wish, I think. I see Mega Haunts me to break my sub, revealing that he is a Scarf Heracross, and now I get a free Wish into my Landorus, get it back to full, and yeah, put him in the back spot. I think here I go for the Rocks, predicting him not to go into Rotom, which is exactly what he does. He goes into Dragonite, and yeah, I'm pretty much forced to U-turn out, because if he gets the Dragon Dance off, and while I click while I click Smackdown, he pretty much gets a free kill, and I don't want that to happen. If he has Ice Beam and outspeeds me, so be it. But if he wants to just go for Dragon Dance, a slow U-turn into Kyurem guarantees me the revenge. So he goes for the Supersonic Sky Strike, and yeah, he does a fuck ton, which is kind of sad, but I live, and I can go into my Kyurem and just click Ice Beam here. I'm actually playing around with this thing. I go for the double into Landorus as I predict him to go into Mug, but he actually goes into Diancie, so I'm forced to switch out into my Snorlax as he just fires off the Moonblast and he has a fuck ton. He's modest Diancie, which my Snorlax can't even deal with. I rest up, predicting him to go for another another attack here, but he actually gets up his Rocks, which is a fine play. I go for the Sleep Talk, get the Curse as he switches to Dragonite, and him going to Dragonite kind of means he is like Dragon Tail, pretty much. I go for another Sleep Talk, get the rest, which is unfortunate. I much rather would have preferred the return, because then I could have spammed return on the Sleep Talk, but I get the return damage off, and he Dragon Tails me out. Thankfully not in my land, but into my Finny, which means I can just go for the Moonblast, I think. Or maybe I click Defog. Yeah, I want these rocks gone, obviously. Even though it helps him and he gets back his Malta Scale, but on this time I go for the knockoff to get rid of the Baryon Mark, which was like a pretty safe switch. And I reflect on the Poison Jab to help my Lando get back in, actually, because he can't bob me with any attack. Like even Poison Jab, he needed Poison Jab Poison to knock me out with Reflect Up. That's how bulky Landorus is. I think I was close to max defense Lando in this one. And here I just bob the Z. Oh no, just go for the Earthquake. I don't even need to bob the Z, which is clean. So I removed the Mark, which is great for my Volcarona. I pretty much am forced to sack my Landorus here on the Diancie, as I have to go into my Jirachi and click Iron Head. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can't risk him going for Earth Power on my Wish or Substitute or anything. He goes hard into Heracross, as I said in preview. He pretty much is forced to always go hard into his Scarfer versus Marachi, so I don't get out of hand. I get a crit with the Iron Head, won't matter in the long run, I'm pretty sure, as I go to my Finny here on the close common. I get a pretty free Moonblast here, because if you switch into Diancie, I get much needed chip off for Volcarona's Giga Drain to bop it, and I can go to my Jirachi now to like shoot a Moonblast as he like switches out after that into Dragonite. I went into Finny on the on the potential Earth Power to get into my Berry, but he puts a double into Dragonite, which is kind of sad. He goes for the Hurricane. I live it. That was the Z-Fly. That's why it did so much to land. I thought it was like a high roll element, but it's a mixed Dragonite, which kind of makes sense. Get the Papa where I can just spam Moonblast here, and I actually get the KO, which is pretty clean. Probably was a roll, but yeah, probably got a high roll there, which is nice. He revenges me with the thing, but I don't mind. Yes, he can get up rocks now, but I'm not too worried, because now I can just spam Ice Beam. His Diancie's in range, his Rotom can't 1v1 me, and now he goes into Licky, which means I go hard into my Volcarona, knowing that he's gonna cheese me with the SD Licky set, and I'm clicking the Will-O-Wisp. If he has Facade, that's good for him, but even then it's not too bad. He goes for Body Slam and crits me, which is super unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I just go for the Fiery Dance to chip him down, force him to Wish, as he goes for another SD. I know I can still live the +4 hit after lefties, and I can go for another Fiery Dance, chip him down. Don't get the boost here. Had I got the boost there, that would have been nice. I go for the Roost on this turn. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he actually goes for the Wish, and on this turn, like I pretty much am forced to Giga Drain because if I remove Dynasty, I guaranteed win with Volcarona, and even if he stays in and clicks Protect, I don't lose anything by clicking Giga Drain either. So Giga Drain is my best play here, and he actually pulls the switch out into Dynasty, trying to catch me on the Fire Dance. But yeah, I'm not about that. Volcarona removes that fucker, and this is pretty much game. I can click Fire Dance, can click Giga Drain versus the Rotom. As he goes for Hydro Pump, doesn't bob me because I'm very fat. I can just Giga Drain and then Licky Licky is at 39%, and this thing can't one me if burned, and he like just has to go for the body slam. And yeah, he paralyzes me here, but he will go down on the next turn. And even like if I get fully parried all the time, I still have my my Z ground lander in the back. But yeah, Volcarona comes through and clinches this game, so we make it to the finals again finally after last season we lost in semis, the season before we lost in finals, so this time we make finals again. So yeah, hopefully we can finally win this title. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, we actually face my guy Evan, cool dude. Yeah, took over a team in the ITL. That's like how I got to know him, and through the IDM. And he also took over a team in NPL because under the radar or Kelly dropped his team. And yeah, you see here's the Naganadel, here's the Infernip, nice Venomoth, here's Trapping, Mega Tita, Parathon, like a stupid team. Like people are telling me how good my matchup was, but I really wasn't buying it. I was really unsure about my team that I wanted to bring because on paper you see like Infernum and T-type thing, like yeah, Landorus, food, Affinity food, but those two can be overwhelmed so quickly with like Landorus, even if max defense, can't risk a crit edge from Mega T-type because then it gets just bought by Flablets from Scarf Ape after Rock. So I can never allow it to get crit. I can not allow my Finny to get trapped by Gothitelle. So I'm pretty much in a really tough spot with my defensive core here. But yeah, I came up with a decent team. It's like it's kind of weird, but it definitely should put in the work. My opponent also had like Seismitoad, Thunderous T, Light Noon, and yeah, some other mon on this team, like one mon that I was sure wasn't coming, but Light Noon being on the team pretty much forced my Jirachi into one role. That was Scarf. I'm Scarf, Jolly to outrun +1 Venomoth and Adamant Light Noon, even if it's like Drum Select Berry, Adamant, I outrun that. It's Iron Head, Zen Headbutt, Drain Punch, and Healing Wish. Healing Wish is nice because it helps my defensive lander out in case I get crit by Tita or Infernape. My Alakazam is Psychic, Focus Blast, Taunt, Recover. In 1v1s, Scarf Gothitelle, it bobs Tita after like a little bit of shit like Rocks plus Flamethrower from Volcarona, guaranteed puts it in Focus Blast range. It revenges Naganadel, Scarf Ape, Venomoth, like even Ape Scarf Levelets doesn't bob me from full with the spread that I have, which is nice, so I can always stay in. Don't have to risk health on my Finny or Lando. I got a nice recycle Ayapapa Berry or Fiji. No, I think this time I'm Fiji Berry on Legs because in case he tricks me with Gothitelle, he gets confused, so that's nice. I got Heavy Slam on deck, Super Power, and Return. Heavy Slam, oh, Clefable was the mon, yeah, the last one. I didn't really know if Clefable would come, but yeah, I want to have something to 2 KO guaranteed. So this is my dedicated check to Naganadel and to Venomoth. Can put in quite some work with those, and yeah, can bob them with Return. Like Return is a 2 KO max HP Naganadel as well as like max HP Venomoth, and it also like bobs Inferno, like does like 70 to Inferno. Super Power bobs Tita if it's offensive. If it's max HP, I think it's a roll to kill about a guaranteed KO after rocks or so. It also does like 50 to Spadef Parathon, which is nice. Volcarona, yeah, this was like I wanted to bring Kuroden's Roost Dual Stab for the longest time, but my man Gypsy said like, yeah, you should probably bring Psychic to guaranteed Bob, Ape, and Naganadel on switch-ins potentially. And to make up for that, I don't have Roost, but I got a nice Aya Papa Berry so that I can get health back if he hits me with some stupid attack. So pretty clean tech. I'm a fan. I used it. Then I got my Landorus, which is probably the best set in this team. On this team, it's like Earthquake, U-turn, no Earthquake, Defog, Stealth Rock, and I'm pretty sure it's no, it's Stone Edge in the last slot to hit Thunderous and Venomoth for crazy good damage. It's like Stone Edge Okos Venomoth if it's offensive as well as Thunderous, so I had to pick it. I live a non-life orb, Thundy T HP Ice, which is clean, so I could always like stay in, bop it with the Stone Edge and Healing Wish it back up later because look at my team, like unless I Mega Evolved Zam, Thunderous T kind of fucks me. So I had to like design my team so that every mon can shoot it. Like even Lex can shoot a Z Focus Blast pretty easily from full. So that's clean. Finn here is another Defogger. I'm pretty sure it's Taunt, Defog, Nature's Madness, Moonblast. I'm pretty sure. Nature's Madness just to put Ferrothorn in range of Zam, just to chip Gothitelle, to chip Naganadel on the switcher potentially, and like just not allow them to come in for free on my Finny. So I scouted Evan a little bit, and I knew he always, like pretty much in every game, he led with his rocker. And here I expect Ferrothorn to be his lead of choice because it's decent versus my leads, versus my Landorus potentially, versus my Finny, which could lead to get a terrain up and to cover an Ape lead or kind of cover a Tita lead in case those are rockers. So I decided to lead off with my Volcarona, and yeah, this pays off because it puts me in a great spot from turn 1. I got a free as Flamethrower here, and I get some nice chip of an Inferno. But looking at it, it is he brings it in hard. It's Naive Inferno because it takes 44 from Flamethrower, and yeah, this pretty much means it's Scarf, which is good to know. I couldn't quiver up on the Ferrothorn leads because in case he was T-Wave, that would have been annoying, or in case he goes hard Tita, that could have been fucked up. But I get some nice chip off on the Infernic, which puts him in Moonblast range, it puts him in return range. Jirachi guaranteed Okos now with the Zen Headbutt, and Landorus T always bobs it too, so that's pretty nice. On this turn, I already wanted to click Quiver Dance to pretty much try to win on this turn already, but I decided not to do it because my Volcaron is so valuable. Like if I weaken Tita and I get Volcarona in versus Ferrothorn, I pretty much am guaranteed to win once I remove Infernip or if he gives me +2. So no need to risk it. I can go into my Landorus, I shoot any Scarf hit. If he goes for Scarf Rock Slide, I cover that too, but he actually goes for the U-turn and he goes into my Ferrothorn, which gives me a free Earthquake here, just gauging the damage. And this looks like more of a spit death. So I go for the Defog as he leeches, and here I go into my Volk again, seeing if he wants to Rocks up, or if he goes for the double leech, I'll just lose 12%, which is not the end of the world. And here I put another switch into my Lando, predicting him to this time go into Inferno or Tita. Tita makes sense. And this turn, I stay in. If he had Ice Punch and was a Scarf Tita, he just could have knocked me out, but he didn't know my spread at this point. I could have been a speedy-ish, fat, bulky Scarf. No, not Scarf, but fat, bulky Lando, so didn't really know what my set was. And I just bopped the Tech Rage because whatever he wants to bring in, be it Gothitelle or Ferrothorn, I just remove with Tech Rage into Earthquake. So I get a nice 61 off versus Ferrothorn, and now I can just click EQ, and he goes into Goth, and I actually crit him, which is unfortunate. But his Goth set actually, like the best attack he could hit me with were Psyshock and Dark Books, and it actually could have just like gotten like a little bit more shit. Look, he goes for the Psyshock, does 19, so he could have gone like put me at 44 instead of 64. So I don't think it matters too much. Goes in the Venomoth, clicks Quiver Dance, and I go for the Stone Edge, and I miss, which is really unfun. I'm like, oh fuck, this is like now it gets tough. But I go into my Snorlax now because he has to kind of bop his Z now that I revealed the what's called the Stone Edge, so I can go for the return here. Reveals to be offensive Venomoth for sure. I recycle on as he spams Sludge Bomb. I hope he doesn't have Roost. If he has Roost, I have to catch him on a Roost potentially later, and bringing my Rachi hard on this. I could always go hard Rachi here because live a +1 buck buzz easily, but I just try to get to amount of health where I'm over 50% and like can remove it. And he thankfully didn't get poisons with the sludge bomb, which is pretty clean. So he goes for the Inferno. I think here I make a kind of big ball play because I recycle on his U-turn. U-turn in my opinion was 100% his play, because like if he doesn't U-turn and kills my Snorlax, I get like a free Landorus or a free Volcarona if he clicks close combat to knock me out. If he clicks close combat here to knock me out, I get a free Quiver Dance or Bug Buzz with my Volcarona, which pretty much seals the game because he has to switch out on my Quiver slash Bug Buzz. Is either 2 killed by T type, that's a switch in, or gets me to +2. So I don't think close combat was ever his play. Flablets didn't knock me out, which is nice, coming from Scarf Ape, unless he was adamant or like lonely instead of native. But I think he had to creep Scarf Rachi because Scarf Rachi is pretty obvious bringer to his team. So yeah, I felt like recycling here was my best play 100%. He brings in the T-type now. I'm like, oh yeah, baby, give me the tar, give me that fucker, let me weaken it so I can bob it with my Volcarona. I go for the superpower. I see Edges, that's a fuck ton, but I can just superpower and actually knock him out. I'm not sure if it was a roll, probably was, but he was a more offensive tar, I'm pretty sure, so probably was a roll in my favor. Here he goes into Naganadel. Makes a good play, goes for the Fire Blast. I don't want to give him Beast Boost because, yeah, that could have been annoying. So I go hard into my Jirachi, and I think I Healing Wish out here into my Snorlax. Yeah, Healing Wish out, and I get Snorlax back to full. And I click Superpower just to remove the Pharaoh. As he actually makes a smart play, goes into Naga. I get another crit. Doesn't really matter, as you will soon see. And I go for a return. He makes a good play, doubles out into Pharaoh and gets his Aya Papa Berry back. And I'm like, oh no, that's sad. But I got my Volk here, which is kind of free. So he goes for the explosion. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? He's an explosion, but I live because I'm fat Volk as always, and I get my berry. And now it's time to sack my Volk because it like doesn't really beat these two. And if he goes for U-turn, I get a kill. But this time Flablets was his best play, and now I can just go into my land or click Earthquake. And yeah, you remove the Infernape, so he knocks me. I knock him out. That's a nice chunk with Flablets. That's 44, which is kind of annoying, but yeah, I live easily. So Naga comes in. It's Naga against the world now, and I know that if I click Earthquake, I guarantee to knock him out, even if he's Shooker. And yeah, so it prevents setup. And if he is like speed boosting, my Alakazam can still live a hit, even if it's Draco Meteor. And like unless he crits me, I win the game. Yeah, I trace the Beast Boost, can I miss? He goes for a Sludge Wave, doesn't even have Draco, doesn't crit, and I kill the Meganodad. So we win the finals. Pretty good game to Evan. I think like me being in front from the get-go versus Ferrothorn lead and like getting chip off with the tech rage on Pharaoh, getting the crit on Gothel really puts me in an advantageous position, which was pretty nice for me. But yeah, we finally win the NPL again. It was about time. I think like I'm very convinced that I was the best team in at least the last 3 seasons, and yeah, I kind of felt robbed of the title. Not that I got hexed badly or anything, but last season definitely should have been my title. And yeah, this season, like before this season, I promised to my Mount Rushmore guys, I promised that I would win this, and yeah, I actually put in quite some work this playoffs, and yeah, I got the title that I felt I deserved. So yeah, pretty cool. It's probably the last, well, it's guaranteed the last season of NPL before Gen 8, so it's gonna take a while till we play again in the NPL. But yeah, we get another title, making it 6 titles in this gen, so as many as I got in Gen 6, which is pretty clean. Good note to end the gen on, even though I will play in another league or two before Gen 8 comes around. But yeah, this was definitely the most important, like personally, the most important title I got in quite a while. So definitely means more than like the ITL title that I got, even though I defeated Gypsy in it, who is way above competition in the NPL, but like it was just like getting what is rightfully mine, and as like the title in the NPL, because I have been the best team in this league from like from season 1 on, pretty much, to be honest. But anyway, definitely means a lot. So, and I hope you guys enjoyed my playoff run. I think it had some cool games for sure. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and a comment, and I catch you in the next video, whenever that will be. So, see ya.